What's up guys, my name is Ace, and now that I've had a couple days to really dive deep into Black Ops 7 for the early access portion of the beta, I wanted to finally share my early impressions since I haven't really been doing much of that, at least on the YouTube channel yet, because I really wanted to get a good feel for things first. So today's going to be a bit of a off-the-cuff sort of video. I've got a few talking points I wanted to go over. It's not going to be as structured as my planned final review video that I will have out toward the end of the beta, if not after the beta is over, where I'm going to be going through like point by point with very specific feedback. This is going to be a lot more of my general thoughts with a few specific points mixed in there. And normally with these videos, I like to structure them starting it off with the good things, and then I transition into the bad things or the feedback that I've got toward the game. This time around though, I wanted to start off with the big thing that's sort of overshadowing a lot of the good that I see in this game, and there is a lot of good there that I'll be talking about. But for me, in my experience so far, the combination of the matchmaking, the disbanding lobbies, and the connection experience I've been having, not necessarily my ping, but the desync sort of feeling, where it often just feels like the enemies have a clear jump on you all the time. And like no matter what you can do, you just can't react fast enough because they're just a little bit ahead of you. That combination of those three factors has so far largely been overshadowing any of the good I've been experiencing. And I have seen a lot of people talking about this and tweeting about this, saying that they don't even think that SBMM's active, and it's just that it's the early access portion, so there's more good players on that take the game a little more seriously. And while I absolutely think that factors into a degree, and I'm curious to see how the open beta goes, keeping in mind at the time of recording this video, I haven't touched the open portion of the beta yet. I've only played in the early access closed portion. Also, Ace from the future, just wanted to check in here and let you know that they have added an open playlist now to the beta with reduced SBMM. So time will have to tell how that plays out as well. I am skeptical of situations like this because those playlists tend to attract the people that are being harmed by SBMM, not the people that are being helped by it. So therefore, I don't think it has as much of an impact as people would think. But we'll see how that plays out over the coming days. Just know for the rest of this video, it's recorded without the knowledge of that taking place, and it's based on my experiences before today. So back to it, talking about the combination of the matchmaking, disbanding lobbies, and connection experience. It's been quite rough overall for me with that combination, and I was curious to see if people were right when they're talking about like SBMM isn't even active in this beta. So I decided to hop onto my testing account that I just use for testing things in custom games, and I played one game, and at the start of the game I was planning on just like feeling things out to see how enemies were moving and stuff. I wasn't planning on like trying hard and taking it seriously. And this is the gameplay I just transitioned to now. But partway through, I just decided, you know what, let's just see what we can do here. And you'll see exactly what I was able to do here on my very first game on a different account. And this one game that I played was a totally different game compared to what I'm playing on my main account. Like, it's not even remotely close to the same gameplay experience. And just to be crystal clear here, it's not like I want this to be my regular experience, literally game after game after game. And I have no intention of playing any more than this one match that I just wanted to see what it looked like on this bot account. I'm back to my main account for the rest of the beta. I just wanted to show the contrast between this and my main account's normal experience, which you saw through the beginning gameplay. Although even then, I'm only recording my games where I was performing at least reasonably well on my main account, so you're not seeing like how bad it really could get on my main account. But it is completely obvious that yes, SBMM is obviously there, it is present, so anybody telling you that SBMM isn't present in the beta, and that the only reason it feels so sweaty playing in the early access is due to the fact that it's good players that are playing in the early access, so everybody that's on right now, or pretty much everybody that's on, it's just really good players. That's obviously not the case, as you can see in this gameplay. And circling back, as I said, this combined with the connection experience and the disbanding lobbies, those are two important factors combined with this as well, have really been overshadowing any of the positive experiences or the good that I see in the game. And on my main account, there are some good games mixed in there. I get some really solid games. I had some games where I was dropping streaks and performing really well, generally when partied up with viewers, because when you party up with enough people, it tends to make the matchmaking feel a lot better, or at least it prevents the team balancing from kind of like screwing you over with the worst players on your team because your hidden skill rating is better than anyone else in the lobby. So it's not like on my main account I'm not getting good experiences here or there, it's just those good experiences are really few and far between for me. And that's where the frustration with disbanding lobbies comes in. When I get those good middle ground experiences where it feels like there's a bit of back and forth, it's somewhere in between this gameplay you're watching and the really frustrating gameplay experience that I generally experience when playing solo on my main account. when you get that nice middle ground game where it does feel like there's some back and forth, there's a little bit of competition there, but there's actually a chance of maybe getting your streaks once or twice throughout a match, while the enemies are also maybe dropping a few streaks here or there. Those are the matches where I tend to find the most enjoyment, because it feels like I can interact with the streak system, but I also at the same time don't feel like I'm just beating up on noobs, and like there's going to be some challenge still involved with getting those streaks. Whenever I get into those matches, the game feels really good. I actually really like the experience. But the problem is, as soon as that match is over, it disbands and we're back into the matchmaking, and the next match is likely to be completely different and often significantly worse. And then when it comes to that third factor, this is the desync sort of experience. Again, regardless of your ping, even when I'm on a really good ping on some games, I can still feel like I'm just clearly behind enemy players. Like there's no way they can react and aim and shoot as fast as they are. I played against professional players plenty of times at events, and this often feels harder than playing against professional players on a LAN environment, which maybe part of that is due to the region that I live in. I think a big part of it as well is this is fairly normal for the release of a beta or even a brand new game. Usually it takes some time for things to settle in and kind of balance out when it comes to that. But when I combine those factors together, my general experience with the game over the past couple days has unfortunately been more negative than positive. And this is where I'm going to transition into the good, because the frustrating thing about this is the gameplay design I actually really personally like and vibe with. I like a faster paced Call of Duty game. I like advanced movement, so like the wall jumps, I'm into that. I think that's really cool. I think the map design in this is a huge step up from Black Ops 6 and far more along the lines of what I like to see in a Call of Duty game. I think the gunplay, when the connection feels fair and balanced, is quite good as well. They've really done a lot to limit the amount of like visual noise and crazy amount of muzzle smoke and stuff as you're in a gunfight, and I think that feels great. I also love that the fact that the streaks in this game generally seem quite powerful, and they're more reasonable to earn than in Black Ops 6 if we're looking at how much score is required. Like the highest streak in the beta right now, the VTOL, is 1,350 score to earn, and a very comparable streak in Black Ops 6 would be like the Chopper Gunner, for instance, and that's 1,600 score to earn. And honestly, I think this is even better than the Chopper Gunner because you have the ability to control where you're flying so you can get better angles on enemies. So the streak potential I like. It's just unfortunate that I rarely ever get to see those streaks, at least with my experience so far, especially when playing solo. And when I'm isolating the game itself outside of the matchmaking, outside of the connection, outside of the disbanding lobbies, this is absolutely a game that I should be enjoying. This is providing so much of what I want to see in a Call of Duty game, and I don't really have too many major gripes when it comes to the gameplay design. I definitely have some bits of feedback here or there. Like, I think the doors are overboard. They're making that adjustment today. Maybe by the time this video is out, they've already made that adjustment. I think the Gravemaker streak probably needs a little bit of tuning just for some more counterplay, even though it's fun to use on the user's perspective. On the receiving end of that, it doesn't seem very fun at all. I think the minimap's zoomed in a little bit too far, but that's an easy tweak, or maybe we're going to get the forward intel perk at some point. And I've run into a small handful of bugs as well throughout the beta. But outside of those things, when it comes to the gameplay design, just isolating that, I genuinely think this game is going to be a fairly big step up from Black Ops 6. I think they're really doing a lot of things right, but at the end of the day, like I said, I'm having a hard time finding enjoyment, or at least consistent enjoyment while playing this game, due to those factors I talked about at the beginning. And that's where I'm at. That's just how I'm feeling about things at the moment. I'm hoping with the open beta, things are going to feel at least a little bit better. I'm also hoping the connection experience levels out over time and we get less of that desync. I mean, that does happen every year with Call of Duty, but how long is that going to take? And unfortunately, I just don't see disbanding lobbies changing, and that is a huge downside regardless of how the matchmaking and connection feels. It always sucks that when you finally do find that great lobby where it seems everybody's having fun and there is that good back and forth, it doesn't matter because you're forced out of that experience and now you're likely to have a totally different one the next game. And I'm honestly at the point right now where I'm just so burnt out with these systems that I'm really looking forward to Battlefield 6 right now. And I'm genuinely considering letting COD take a backseat on the channel, at least for a while, to see how Battlefield 6 goes. But I'm honestly leaning in that direction right now because with that game throughout the beta, I didn't experience any of these frustrations at all. With that game's beta, instead of having the odd good match here or there with a lot of frustration mixed in, it was the opposite. I'd have the odd frustrating match here or there, but most of the matches felt pretty good and I was having fun in the majority of my matches. Now, of course, we're still going to be playing the beta, still going to be providing that content for you guys throughout the beta, the same content I would normally be providing. I just wanted to be upfront and honest with you guys about how I'm currently feeling about things. I will keep you guys updated as time goes on, and I will have my final review as well to see if things improve at all for me here. But that's where I'm at, and this is where I want to hear from you guys in those comments down below. What has your experience been like with the Black Ops 7 beta so far? Are you feeling generally good about the game, bad about the game? Are you having a similar experience to me where you think the game itself is actually shaping up pretty good, but it's being overshadowed by some of the points that we talked about a lot today? Just let me know all of those thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.